Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Today, I got a deck that I've been waiting to play for a very long time. Many of you may have heard me about this, but I did bite the bullet and make a few crafts here so that we could play it. One, because I want my tier list to come out soon this week, and I want this deck to be a part of it. So, anyway, Planeswalkers, with that said, we will be taking a look at about a top 10 deck here. Very, very fun. It did hit this early in the season, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays, but looking forward to it nonetheless because I think it's going to be a great deck. So Planeswalkers, before we get started, I just want to say thank you. As always, I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, if you like the video, please like it. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on content like this. All right, so what deck have I been anxiously awaiting and trying to collect all the cards for and just finally bit the bullet? A Grixis Lurrus Control deck. That is right. So a couple of things here. For those of you that are new, again, we got the Grixis colors, so the 3-color schema. There is red, black, and blue, or mountains, swamp, and islands, and that gives us the Grixis colors, which again, as mentioned, I think yesterday in the Naya Winata video, which you guys can absolutely check out, is from the Alara grouping. So those, it's on the color wheel kind of a deal. Well, that kind of rhymed, and that is what that is all about. Now, for those of you that are new as well, this deck is a companion deck, so we have Lurrus, so that gives us the second piece there. This companion here gives us lifelink. Each permanent card in our starting deck has converted mana cost 2 or less. So again, that's only permanents. Our spells can be more than that. And then during each of our turns, we may cast one of those permanent spells with converted mana cost 2 or less from our graveyard. So giving us a big ability to bring a lot of things back. This deck runs really fast. It's got a really, really tight low curve, which is going to be a very, very powerful thing for us, and I'm very excited to play that as well. Now, the last piece here, for those, again, of you that are new, it is a control deck because it revolves around direct kill spells, also counter spells, and then additionally helping us manage the board state and also smooth kind of our hands and things like that. So lots of different plays here, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of those win conditions and more about the deck here in a minute. But the card that I did bite the dust for, and I needed 2 copies of Seagate Stormcaller, so I did go ahead and craft those because there's a bunch of other mythics that I still need, so it could take me a little bit. I wanted to get this deck done for you. So let's go ahead here and take a look at the list. Then we're going to come back, talk about the list, and then we'll talk about the sideboard and best of 3, and then how to sideboard as well. And then one final note, this deck was 12, so again, about top 10 by Kushiro. So congratulations, Kushiro, for hitting this high early on in the season. Love this deck. So let's go ahead and take a quick look here, and then as mentioned, we'll come back and see what we got going on, because I've been very, very excited to play this for you here today as well. We got a lot of different things happening. We do have 25 lands. We got a couple modal lands as well here, so we can keep that in mind. Now, obviously, playing more, that is something that we could consider here, switching up a little bit more in terms of the land base. But getting the 3 colors is going to be key for us, and we do have some of these other modal lands to help us along the way there too. So quickly here, what do we have going on? Again, we talked about Lurrus already. We got Opt for Draw. We got Blood Chief's Thirst, which is an amazing card that we've talked about multiple times here now, for the sorcery kill spell that we can kick and target a creature or planeswalker 2 or less kicked. We can hit whatever on the board. Next, we got Duress, the ability to look at our opponent's hand, pull something out. We also got Village Rites. This is that sack draw spell. Additionally, a shock here for control. I really, really like the options here. We got a lot of different pieces going on, which is going to be pretty important for us. We have some counter spells. Now, here's Seagate Stormcaller. So this is very important. So this card, when we play it and it enters the battlefield, we get a copy of the next instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost 2 or less that we cast this turn. So everything here is 2 or less primarily. And what's very important about this, if it was kicked, we get a copy of that spell twice, and then we may hit new targets. So the ability to pull this back from the graveyard as well and play these things is going to be really important. What I'm very excited for is the double agonizing remorse. If we can make that happen, it's going to be a beautiful thing. So very, very excited about this card. This is one that I saw early on that I think could have a very nice impact. Nice to see it in the Grixis Control version here. Additionally, beginning to see it pop up in other Izzet shells. So looking forward to doing some of those in the future as well. We talked about Agonizing Remorse. We got Heartless Act. We got Mire Triton for Phil. For the graveyard, we got Magmatic Chandler, so another card that's becoming more and more heavily played. Really, really like this. We saw it originally mostly in the Rakdos mid-range shell deck, but this card gives us, if there's 4 or more instants and or sorcery cards in our graveyard, a +3/+1, which makes it a nice healthy 4/4 for endgame. So that's a good opportunity in terms of closing. And then additionally, the ability to exile a card, or sorry, discard then exile 2 cards, pick one, and cast as well is going to be very powerful. We got Croxa in here, which we've all seen now much more heavily played in those Rakdos shells. So very, very exciting to have that here. Mazemind Tomb, I love this card. I think it's a great one to have from M21. I would even consider, particularly in this deck, running more of these to kind of help with some of the draw and also life gain back. We got Shatter Skull, which is our modal land. The ability to hit our opponent's creatures, or again pay 3 and get that mana ramp. We got Mystical Dispute, which is great to have that slip, particularly with the Yorion decks going on right now. This will give us a little bit of some support in that space. Then we also have Hagra Mauling, the direct kill modal lands. So again, we got 25 lands. We got a lot of instant sorceries, spells here, and then a good chunk of creatures to support. Now, that is the main board. Mainly, again, these are going to be kind of your win conditions here, so we got to pay attention to that. You could even consider Lurrus potentially once they get on the board, if you can keep them on. Might not be too bad, but it's really, really going to be a deck to handle our opponents. That's why it's a control deck, and then slowly optimize our board state there. Really, really looking forward to that. And also Stormcaller with any of these 2 drops here that are going to make something happen is going to be very, very fun. Next, we have good old sideboarding here. So first off, we got Duress. We got one of these main board already. Adding 2 more, I'd run against the control decks, enchantment decks. This could be some of the Yorion decks. This is absolutely going to be things like the Esper decks. This would be something in the mirror match. Also against mill decks, this could be a very, very good one for you as well. Next, we got Soul Guide Lantern. So this is still good because we got the mill decks and we also have the mid-range decks, Rakdos mid-range, Ryan Crocs, and those kinds of things. So this is going to be really important. You may want to play this against mono red too, to either hit Ox or Phoenix as well. So this could be a couple of good different places. The other thing that I like about Soul Guide Lantern is the ability to bring it back with Lurrus is going to be very important. We got Black Lance Paragon. So this card's great. This gives us life gain back. If you are going to play more creature-based decks, you're probably going to want to board this one in for the kill, as well as get some of that life back. So things like mono green, things like mono red, additional things like the Gruul aggro decks, any of the Knights decks that you may run into, Mardu, those kinds of things. Even the Winata decks, this is going to be a good one for you to have. Next, we got Heartless Act. So again, any creature-based decks, this is going to be what you're going to want to run, similar to all the stuff that we already covered above. I would run this against, again, mono red, mono green. You could run this against the Orzhov decks. The Clerics decks are becoming popular again too. That's another option there for you. Embrace Shieldbreaker. So obviously this was here pre, again, I talked about this a little bit. This was here pre-Omnath, so this is really to reflect against some of the Clover stuff. So we could optimize this. I would maybe put in Mazemind here because I do like that, or use this as something else. Now, with that said, There are decks like the Yorion decks that are running artifacts like Glass Casket and some of those things to keep in mind. So right now it's not necessarily a bad card to have. It's also going to allow you to hit things like Embercleave. There are, again, remnants of other artifacts starting to pop up and pop in. This will also take out the lovely Stonecoil Serpent as well. So not necessarily a bad thing to have in there right now, but a consideration nonetheless, just because of that shift with Omnath. Next, we have Mystical Dispute. So we already got 3 of. Having a 4th is great. Again, anything that's running blue, you're going to want to run this. Any of the Yorion decks, you're going to want to run this. Any of the control-y type decks you may want to also run into, like Dimmer Control. I didn't talk about that. I would run that Duress against that too. All good things to play there. And then obviously the Rogues decks or Mill decks, this one isn't bad. Now, I'm really excited to see Extinction Event in this. I think this card is extremely powerful, and additionally, I do think it's slightly underplayed right now relative to some of the things that I've seen. And why I call this out is particularly for the creature-heavy decks like the Naya one that we just did yesterday, also the food decks, also, a lot of the Yorion stuff that's coming out, particularly, again, the Selesnya one that we just did, which you guys can check out. This is going to help you get those things off the board. And the other big one is the Jeskai Yorion Luca deck. So that you got to be careful of. This is going to help you get Trawler off the board, which is going to be very, very important as well. So Planeswalkers, that's the sideboard. Let's talk a little bit here now how we're going to side, because I think that's important. Personally, for me, we're running a ton of lands. I would maybe consider cutting. I do like Crawling Barrens in here. I would maybe add another Crawling. But where I would look to kind of change things out is if we're not running against a blue deck, I may look to optimize Mystical Dispute out and put some of these things in, particularly if they're creature heavy. I may go that route, put in Heartless Act, add in Extinction Events like I talked about. I think this is going to give you more value against some of those creature-based decks. If we go the control route, and even Black Lance Paralance is something you could put in there. So maybe 5 between Mystical Dispute and there, and you may want to take out something else up here like the Negate or Duress potentially in those situations. So that gives you like six slots to move things around. And then if we go the other way, obviously you're going to want Mystical Dispute in there. You're going to want Duress in there. Where would I cut? I would probably take a look at Bloodchief's Thirst. There's a good spot. Again, on the lands, I would maybe look there as well. The other spot you can look is Heartless Act. So those are all great spots for us to consider when we look at more aggro-based decks and control-based decks. If we do run into something more mid-range, you're going to want to find the right balance here. It's probably going to be the Croxa style deck. It could be one of the Naya Landfall decks as well, or Winata. That tends to be a little bit more mid-rangey. You're going to have to, depending on the deck, consider where you're going to want to go, but lots of things that you can play, obviously, here with the sideboard and kind of optimize between the two. So Planeswalkers, that is how I look at this deck. Super, super pumped to play this one for you today. I just absolutely was so excited when I saw this deck in the top 10. So very, very happy. Again, congrats, Kushiro. Let's go ahead and take this into some ranked matches here and go have some fun today. All right, Planeswalkers. So 1 second here. Just moving my lighting. There we go. All right, Planeswalkers, finally, let's go ahead and hop right into it here. Got our standard rank. There's that top 500 Naya Winata deck you can absolutely check out. We are going to take our top 10 Grixis Lurrus Control deck here into our standard rank. Now, before we get started, as always, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, feel free to like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch as well to stay up to date on content like this. All right, we got Brunith. Let's see what we got going on here. So we got some control. We go first. We got Magmatic. I'm going to keep this. And we're going to go from here. go with the blue. Get Magmatic in there. Ooh, this is a good one to think about here. I'm gonna dump Temple. There we go. Not bad. So Stormcaller it is. We're gonna double crank on Agonizing Remorse. So we got it off like we wanted. We still have Hogro. Just need to get the right land there. I'm gonna dump Castle here. So let's see if we can get Croxa back in. Save enough for Cleave. Ah, we're gonna have to do it. Get rid of Caller. They got their cleave. Of course they did. Oh, my friends, I love this game of luck like that. So we did get to see Stormcaller do the double agonize, so we'll keep that. But of course, they're gonna top deck. That's how it goes. No worries. All right, on to match 2. We got to see all the mechanics though, which is what I liked. Or some of those mechanics unfortunately went backwards there from Platinum 1 to Platinum 2. Let's go ahead and do our next best of 1 match. I think this deck's going to do a little bit better in best of 3 just because they are more aggro heavy decks, obviously in the best of 1. And I think Control's going to have a little bit better of a time in best of 3, like I said. All right, Hot Sauce Voss it is. All right, we go first. We'll keep this. I do like what we have, so we'll play it. Hot Sauce Boss, taking your time. Don't need another island. We got plenty. Just one's good enough. Oh, look at that. 5-color shrine deck. So this is on my list. So what do we want to get rid of here? They got the pinging shrine, they got the tap down shrine. Ooh, and they got the 5-color one. Don't really care for eliminate. That's useless. That's fine. Now that's going to be a problem. That's what I was waiting for. Now I could have pulled Lurrus over there. Oh, don't tell me they got another one. Oh. have their control that they needed now. There we go. I've seen this deck quite a bit now too. Oh, there you go. Fortunately, not enough to hit that, which is a bummer. There we go. Now we can start shutting them down. Oh, and I missed full control there for the draw. Oh, that's going to cost me the game. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh my gosh. That was a very, very unfortunate play on my end there, my friends. I'm actually just going to play Storm. we're not gonna do that. There we go. That works. So you don't have to double sack, which is nice. There we go. We took down the 5-colored shrine in best of one. Like I said, I've seen that quite a bit. Worked out in our favor that we were able to lock them out of their cards fairly early. Some key pulls there with Agonizing Remorse. So we got to see a lot of the different things. Nice to see that the sack didn't hurt us twice as well. So now we're going to go into our best of 3 match, holding out here today with splitting best of 1. So it's traditional standard ranked. Let's take our Grixis top 10 deck here. Right into our best of 3 match here against SRM the second, or II. Now quickly here, Planeswalkers, we are going to go first. But before we decide if we're going to keep this hand, as always, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, stay up to date on content like this. All right, so I do like this. We're going to have to find another red. We got Mire Triton. We've got some good stuff here, so we'll keep this. We could play Duress off the start too if we want. I'm going to look though first. I'll keep the Storm. Ooh, here we go. So we'll do this, we'll do that. So we'll see if we can double up. I'm thinking a double Duress. And we'll see what we can do here. Let's see what they got. Cleave and a whiff on a bunch of other stuff. So this is going to be a tricky Gruul match for us. Get rid of Love Struck. Now they'll play their 1. I'm doing that to hopefully buy 1 turn here, so that I can tee up my village rights. But we'll see. There we go. Perfect. Do we want another Croxa? Don't think so right now. So they'll hit for 10. Ooh. So that's not going to be, that'll be 7. Well, they might have a Scoos. Let's try. Let's see what we got here. That was my fear. Oh. Let me keep that, because then we can double up. No, we won't be able to double up, but I'll be able to take out their edge wells. Really nice match here. We'll have to see. I might have to hang on to my counters. Hold those up too. Whew. All right, we have lethal next turn. Oh, we still have lethal. Oh man. All right. This is going to be tricky, tricky, tricky. I'm going to drop Opt. I'm going to drop Duress. I want to add in Black Lance. These, I think we're going to want Extinction Events, to be honest. Negate's okay. Mystical Dispute's okay. I think we do this. We drop one there. I think that's the play, because we'll keep these. All right. Tricky, tricky match. We'll stay with that and see how it goes. If we need to, so the artifact guy too is good to take out Great Henge if we do run into that. So that's a good thing to remember. Let's see here. We're off to a good start against a tough matchup. So let's see if we can bring this sucker home here. So we'll keep this, because I got a lot of digging I can do here. They're going real aggressive. That's all I needed, though. Keep that. Alright, we are going to pull something out of their hand. Hopefully. Get Scoos out of there. That's a good one for us. I won't need that. Well, we could use that. We're gonna get the double Storm Caller with Heartless Act. There we go. Seagate's like the new, a little bit more expensive Clover. All right, let's see here. We got Magmatic Chandler we can pull. We gotta get Lurrus over here soon too. we go. So we're going to try this because I don't know how it fully works. Oh, it didn't work. Be doubling up. That's a bummer. That's kind of what I thought I was going to do. How many cards do we have in the graveyard? We got plenty there. Here we go. We're going to lock them in. Boom. Oh, whew. Really, really nice best of 3 match there today. So that rounds us out for splits 1-1 and a nice best of 3 2-0. So, and I would say against a deck that can do or put up well against that control deck as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Planeswalkers, really, really glad I crafted my last 2 Seagate Stormcallers for you. We can call the Stormcaller the new Clover anyway, but 1 second here. Let me move this out of the way. So quickly here, again, here's the deck list. It is available for you down below. Link is also down below, so you have access to it. If you got questions or comments, let me know. I really, really enjoyed playing this deck today. Was looking forward to doing this for a while and glad we finally got to do it. Planeswalkers, also make sure you stay tuned for the tier list. It'll be coming again soon, doing an updated one here post Omnath ban. I think the field's pretty open, so we got a lot of interesting things coming your way. I think some things are rising to the top, so stay tuned on that. And always just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch as well to stay up to date on content like this. All right, Planeswalkers, again, a lot of stuff coming your way. Stay tuned. Very, very excited about it, and I love doing this stuff for you on a daily basis. So try to do my best to do that. Lastly here, you stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Mythras out. You take care.